Okay, so at the Faculty of Interior and Stage Design, we have some different fields of study. So actually we can divide it into two parts. So interior design, when we are teaching about interiors like private and public exhibition spaces, commercial exhibition spaces and outdoor spaces. Here also about exhibitions, events, social spaces. And then the second part is stage design, and actually stage design is also quite a wide topic. So we have here institutional theaters, so like typical stage design. Then we have like street theater, puppet theater, performances in post-industrial spaces, then art installations, advertising and TV, sports, films, etc. Then animation and gaming spaces, and also this what Agnieszka said, mentioned already, so also a little bit of costume. Costume like a theater one, but also some lectures and studios from fashion design. Main fields of education, so we can actually divide it into three parts. So here we have design, so like first design assumptions, then subjects like analysis and etc., then concepts and first designs. Then we have the technical development, so that means here we are working also technical drawings, scale, proportions, also in space, of course, we need to know how big something is, because with the scale, with proportions, we can also work at the atmosphere of performances. And then the final part is the implementation. So what kind of materials we are using, what kind of methods of execution. Then, of course, in performances, the most important part for us is, and final part of work is also light, because this light also creates the space and the atmosphere of performances, but as well like movie and all that set design part. And then the final presentations I will take about it a little bit later. So how we actually present our project to other people who are working with it, but also during the studies, how do we present projects in the end of the semester, in the end of the year. Here you have also some like free lists of studios which are open for foreign students. So at the interior design, we have 8 of them. Then at set design, we have 3 of them. And we have also 2 fashion design studios, which are also open for foreign students. We can mainly divide buildings in which we have classes for also like 3 of them. So set design classes mostly we have in C building, then fashion and D, and in G building we have interior design. Of course, in all these design fields, we are working not only with the projects, but also we need to present, like create this project. So we need some workshops. So we have a wooden workshop, metal workshop, but we have also some new techniques. So we have also 3D printing. We have also like sewing machines and everything what is important to present the idea in the reality. So also you have here some like 2 addresses where you can, like in Robakovo, for example, so that's this I building, you have a lot of workshops with really new machines and all like new technical options of creating your models. And then we have also Teatralny Golentin, that's a part of our set design department, when you can create the performances, when you can work with a light, when you can work on a stage, but also work with your a little bit bigger than just model projects. Main design assumptions. So what actually, how do we work? So at the beginning we are, when you have the topics, then we have the mood boards. So like your first ideas, then the sketches. So the firstly when you see the project, then preliminary drawings. And the final option is also, it depends from the project. So sometimes we work with the renders in 3D software, then sometimes we ask students to create the mock-ups, the models. So that is really important to choose the right materials and techniques to create it, to implement this project. And sometimes we also work on videos or kind of animation, because then projects very important is the movement or the changes of light. So then on the renders or models, we can't really show it properly. So then we need some kind of moving images. Here you will have some examples of project presentation. So again, like a little bit longer about these renders, photos, animation, video. So it also, as I told you earlier, it depends from the project. And then the second option is design board. So that's kind of, you will see it later. So that's a kind of board when you, depending from the different field of studies, you are showing sometimes technical drawings, sometimes just the renders or photos. Sometimes we also ask you to present some sketches like drawings. And portfolio, there's actually the option to show the whole way of your project. So really from the first ideas, from the mood boards, sketches, through the drawings till the final option, like the final version of a project. So when we are talking about set design, for example, we also, in the portfolio, we can also show the pictures from the performances, etc., etc. Here you will see the samples of the boards, and actually you will see also the differences between this three field of studies. So actually interior design is definitely more with technical drawing. So actually we can see the renders, sometimes models, but mostly the renders. But we also need to present here technical drawings. So that's really important part of interior projects. So you can see them here. Sometimes when we are working in existing spaces, so you'll have kind of mix of renders with the pictures. Here's this part of outdoor projects. You can also see it here. And then we have a set design project. So here actually is a board with a technical drawing, but you can see that the most important is this part on the top with the light, also with kind of projection. And here we have some kind of like some types of set design boards, which are just with pictures or with renders. So you can see actually it's kind of like a little bit of storyboard for set design. So how it is changing something during the performance. And then the fashion design. So here actually you have like really first projects, and here we have a little bit of technical drawing. So how do we cut something or like fold? But here you can see that the most important is part of fabric. So how it looks like, how do we create it? Here's also work with light, with different materials. What is also interesting, I think, in our studies is that we do not use only the materials which are ready, like we can buy them in the shop, but very often students are creating their own materials. So also in fashion design, but as well in set design, because something is important for the atmosphere of performance, for example, and then we need to figure it out how to create this kind of material. And then some projects, because we don't work only, of course, during the lectures. We have a lot of like, thanks to the contacts of our lecturers who are still working, of course, in all these fields of set design, fashion, and interiors. So we have contacts with many institutions, like the cultural institutions, design studios, theaters. We also take part in a lot of many exhibitions in Poland, but also abroad. In fashion shows. So yeah, what do we have? Also like meetings with designers, workshops, festivals. We also create performances. We take part in exhibitions. We have also some visits to design offices and film studios, workshops. We have also some kind of outdoor workshops. Now, for example, our students from the diploma year are in Michałowice, so that's a small city in the Polish mountain, and they are working there for 1 week just on their projects of their diplomas. And we have also some cooperations with famous designers and artists, so you can take a look here at some of these meetings, workshops, and other projects. So during this visit, students can also take a look at different materials and new techniques which are using in, for example, interior design. Here you have some set design projects also in different institutions. Here's in Lublin. Here was, for example, a performance implement in Madrid, because that was a cooperation of our student from our university and student of Music Academy from Madrid. So actually this performance had its premiere in Madrid and then in Poland, in Zamek in Poznań. Here's another performance, which was also showed during the very famous international festival, Malta Festival in Poznań. You can also take a look how different are the projects. So here was a performance from one of the theaters in Poznań, Teatr Polski. So even if you will choose just one of this field of study, it's not only even like in one field of study you have many differences, and you can really choose something for you, what is the most interesting for you. Here we have like one of the fashion shows during the Night of Museums in Poznań. And it was not only the fashion show, but it was some kind of performance also with the dancers, with really specific kind of movements during the presentation. Here we had a big exhibition for the 20th anniversary of our faculty. And we had this exhibition in Stary Browar in Poznań. That's really famous cultural center here. So we showed there also our lecturers' works, but also students' works. Here was some kind of invitation to this main exhibition, and it was a small exhibition in our university's place. It is Galleria Rotunda. And here's the last performance of our students. It was a cooperation with Music Academy from Poznań, so it was the opera Hansel and Gretel. Here again some pictures from the exhibitions. Here was the exhibition of the best diplomas of set design students. Here was a visit in Madrid in 3 different universities, also not only the public ones. And here are some pictures from the workshops. And a few words about the portfolio. So, of course, even if you are interested in MA studies, we don't actually ask you to have any BA diplomas from set or interior or fashion design. So what is important for us, of course, to show, it's important to show the drawings, paintings, photos and renders of space models, so that that's not necessary to really create the interior or to create some kind of set design, but you can work with really simple 3D objects and show us how do you think about space, how do you think about scale, how do you work with light. And then also you can show us some interesting photos showing exactly the same thing. So the forms, various materials, because also you can work with light in different materials. So that's what is important for us. If you want to see more of our projects, you can take a look at this final year exhibition. So here you have a link also. Again, some social media and student scientific groups. So here you have also contact to the students. You can also contact them and during the studies to ask for help, to ask for some information where you can find something, etc., etc. And thank you so much. And if you'll have some questions, then of course you can ask me. Thank you.